Hey guys, be sure to press like and subscribe. As you can see, I look a little bit different today than normal because my girlfriend shaved right over here off, so that's gone. So I had to shave the other side off, so I got to grow it back now. But anyway, that's why I look a little bit different, in case you're wondering. But anyway, guys, I want to talk today about giving to the poor. And you know, there's a lot of stories that go around the Philippines that you shouldn't help the poor because they belong to a syndicate, and if you help people in the streets, it just people take it away from them. It goes to like some Philippine mafia or something like that. And it's just, in most cases, 99% of the time, that's just a bunch of bunk and it's not true. Okay, and you're going to hear that from a lot of people. It might even be you hear it from your girlfriend or whatever. And in most cases, it's not true, guys. It's not true. You know, if you want to help somebody, help them, you know. But one thing I notice over here is when you see somebody in need and you know, and they're not asking you, what I do is I just try to help them out on my own and say, hey, listen, you know, if you need a couple bucks or something, I can help you out. I know a lot of guys out there don't have the money to give to people, and that's fine too. And that's a choice that you have to make. I understand that a lot of guys don't have the money or the wherewithal to help other people, and that's more than fine. You know what I mean? I fully understand that. But a lot of guys that are coming over here, they got big budgets. They're making over 2,000 US a month or whatever they're making from their Australia or whatever, and they have a lot extra to help people and stuff like that. And we tend to help people. Like we have a guy that comes by here to collect the plastic, and he has some issues from a stroke, and he has a son that's autistic, and we help him out. We help out a lot of people around here just on our own. I'm not even going to get into it. I don't like to toot my own horn or anything, but I do want to talk about this a little bit because it's something that I think a lot of you guys, I've heard from a lot of people about, that they want to help people over here when they get over here. And be careful about going into these places like in Manila and stuff that are really poor, just because some of those places are downright dangerous. You know, you're best to help people in the streets where you're out in the open and you're safe, and to do it in groups. So, you know, like if you want to belong to a church or something like that and you want to go out, what we usually do is I go out and give out like micro grants and stuff like that to people in the streets up in Rojas Boulevard. Okay, and we would just give them an envelope with cash in it, and just they could do whatever they want with it, you know, to help them. And we would even help people in some of the small cart stores up there, because those are the people that need it. These are people that are living in those carts sometimes at night. And I want you guys to keep that in mind. So you're helping them a lot because you're kind of bringing them up and tell them to use that for emergency money when they get sick or something like that, because these people don't have emergency money. So when something happens, God forbid, they end up having to sell off their whole cart, but they don't have the money to replenish it. And I've ran into people like that before, and it's kind of sad when you run into these people like that. But also you're going to run into people, you know, like on the streets when you're walking around. You're going to run into beggars. You're going to run into street kids. You're going to run into people that hop on your Jeep. You're going to run into like bajaus and stuff like that. Bajau is like a indigenous tribe here, and they're very poor. And you're going to run into those people sometimes. And they can be kind of adamant and pushy sometimes. I usually don't give too much to the Bajau because of the fact that they're so pushy. Don't give them a lot because they're very pushy on people and they're kind of rude, you know. And they'll swear at you sometimes, you know. So I tend not to give too much to that group. Some of them are decent and good people, but some of them are not. So you have to kind of, you know, sort through which ones you want to give to. But you're going to run into situations where you see very poor people on the street. Sometimes a woman with her child or old lady in the street or something like that. And, you know, you might want to give to those people. And as you move about through life here in the Philippines, you're always going to be running into people that are in need. You know, and it might even be a next door neighbor. It might be that they need for a healthcare issue, and maybe you want to help them with that. Might be somebody in your family. It could be that, you know. And what I do is I try to like budget a little bit of money for stuff like that, and that way there I can give to whoever I want. And sometimes I'm riding along in the Jeep and I see some guy, and you know, I can tell he's looking for food or whatever. And sometimes I'll be coming back from the French bakery or whatever. I'll just hand the guy a bag of bread and say, here you go, you know, have at it, you know, and just, you know, eat that or whatever. But you'll see stuff like that, and you'll kind of feel for these people, you know, and you know, you just do, because there's so much poverty here. There's so much stuff. Like today, I was out walking about, and I saw this place for kids that are street children, I guess it is, up the street here. I think it's for street children, if I remember correctly. And it had Mother Teresa's picture on there on the outside of the place. And I says, you know, I'm going to go in and check that out someday. And I'm going to go in there and I'm actually going to physically check that out because I thought that was kind of cool. Because I had never heard about that place. I'd actually like to go in there and volunteer or something like that for that place. And maybe, you know, try to donate a little bit of money to that to help that cause. You'll see places like that you can go help. There's even a nursing home up in Manila for people that were street people and needed to be into a nursing home, and it's covered by contributions and stuff like that. There's a lot of places that you can give to here in the Philippines if you're a charitable person and you want to help those places out. And I highly recommend giving to these places, by the way. If there's ever a place that needs your help, the Philippines is one of those places, trust me. There are so many areas of need here in the Philippines for you to help out in, especially when it comes to food, helping with health care, hospitals, if you want to help out in a hospital financially. You have some extra cash that you want to donate each month or something like that. You know, pick out a place if you want and just donate it, or each month switch it up. You could even maybe start your own mission through your church if you go to church here or whatever, or start your own mission on your own, which is what I've kind of done, and I kind of work with my church also on occasion too. You know, when we don't have this COVID thing going on, we usually, you know, go out in the streets and we do stuff. We help people, you know, and I actually enjoy doing that too. And it's good for the soul too. You know, it really is. But I just want to throw that out there today, guys. You know, that you're going to run into so many places around here that are in need, so many people that are in need, hospitals and medical needs of friends that you run into. You even children sometimes that don't have enough food or whatever. You're going to run into these situations and you're going to say, you know what? I want to do something about this. I want to help out. And I can't impress it upon you enough how much this touches my heart, and I'm sure it will yours too when you get over here. If you have, you know, for you guys that are above the 2,000 to 3,000 sweet spot, even if you're in the 2,000 to 3,000 sweet spot, you know, you guys got the money where you can help these places. And sometimes people ask me, well, why do you live in your house is so small? Why don't you want to move to a bigger house? Well, sometimes I like doing things, you know, I like helping out other people. I don't really need to live in a big house. Someday I will, you know, at some point I will. But right now I don't want to, you know, because I have things that I want to do. And, you know, I enjoy doing certain things here. And, you know, you'll see what I mean when you get here. You don't really need a lot here in the Philippines, you know, to live. You don't. You know, you don't need to live high. You know, if you're living in the middle like I live right now, and some people might say I live poor. No, you don't know what poor is until you see the house down below here and you see people living in like these ramshackle, like Appalachian type shacks down below me. Then you'd understand what I'm talking about, what poverty really is. And those are the people that we try to reach out and help. You know, I try to help out the people down below me. I try to help out people in the neighborhood if they need help. And sometimes kids here, the parents are very, you know, tight with the money because they don't have a lot of income coming in. But you go by the house and they have like a nice house, but the kids are kind of bored all the time. And sometimes I'll just buy them like a what they call ice candy here. It's basically a ice pop or popsicle, okay? And just something like that can make all the difference to a kid, even if they do have money in the family, because sometimes the family won't do that much for the kids. They won't buy them an ice pop. They won't give them any money. Give them some money sometimes, like 20 pesos or 50 pesos or something like that. It's not a lot of money, but it's enough for them to go down to the store. They can get a soda or an ice pop or an ice cream or a mango, you know, small cup of ice cream or something like that. You know, what have you, you know, and the kids, it'll make the kids' day for the day, you know, and you have that power to do that, and most people over here don't have that power, you know, and when you help people, always say pay it forward. You know, say, do me a favor. I'm helping you someday in the future when you can help somebody else. Pay it forward to help somebody else. And you'll get to see that in action sometimes here. It's really kind of cool. And I've got to, like I told it before in the past, I've seen it in action. It's really a quite extraordinary thing to see it happen. You know, and it plays out, and these people want to introduce you to the people that they helped. And that person starts telling you a story about how they're going to try to help somebody else out now because they were helped out. And it's just kind of, it really, really touches you in a big way, and it's really kind of a beautiful thing to see that happen. But anyway, guys, I just want to put that out there. Something different today. Today's kind of like a slow news day. There's not a lot to put out there for stories or anything. So I just figured today I'd do a walkabout, and I'd also talk about this because I thought it might be interesting to you guys. Just be sure to give, guys, when you're over here. This is your host country. Take care of it. Love these people. They love you. Seriously. These people here are the greatest people in the world, I find. We have some of the most beautiful people in the world here. And, I know there's always going to be somebody here that gives the country a black eye or whatever, but, overlook them. Look, most people that live here that are foreigners will tell you the people here are really nice and they're beautiful people and they have big hearts, and they probably have the biggest hearts in the world. Filipinos do, and I will back that 100%. We have some of the best people in the world here, and I've learned to appreciate these people. But God bless, guys. Take care.